So in this video we're gonna see how we can use this useReducer hook and we can manage the complex state while fetching data from API. So as we know, this useReducer hook is mainly useful for managing complex state logic. So this can be very helpful in case of fetching data from APIs, because here we can have multiple states, like we can have the loading, we can have the data, and also we can have the error. Now we can manage all of these states very easily with the help of the useReducer hook. So in some previous example, we are fetching the to-do list from the API, and then to manage the state we were using the useState hook. So here we have the data and the loading state. So whenever we get the data from the API, we set the data, and also we have to manually set loading as false. And here you can see we have the output. So whenever we refresh the page, so first of all it shows the loading, and whenever we have the to-do list, it shows them in the list. So this way we can have multiple other states, and managing this way can be nightmare. Now we can do the same thing very efficiently using the useReducer hook. So let's now use the useReducer hook instead of the useState hook. So first of all we have to create the initial state. We'll have the loading as false, the data, so this will be one empty array. Now let's now remove this useState hook. So let's now define the reducer. So the reducer will have the state and the action, and we're gonna switch between the action type. So if the case is fetch start, then we're gonna return, and here we're gonna modify the loading, and we're gonna set the loading as true. Now whenever our fetch is successful, then we're gonna return, and here we're gonna set the data action.payload. We're gonna make the loading as false so that the loader will disappear, and also we'll have the default case where we're gonna return the state. Now we're gonna use the useReducer hook, and we're gonna pass the reducer and the initial state, and this will return the state and the dispatch. Now whenever we have the data, instead of set data and set loading, we can simply dispatch with the type as fetch success, and also we're gonna set the payload as the result. And also whenever we start the fetching, here we're gonna dispatch with the type as fetch start. So this will show the loader, and whenever we're done with the data, then the loading will be false, and also we're gonna have the data as the action payload. Now to show the loader, instead of just loading, we have to use state.loading, and also instead of just data, we have to use state.data. And now if we refresh, so you can see first of all we have the loader, and then we have the list of to-dos. So our fetch is working the same as earlier, but here you can see our code is a lot more structured, and we are managing all of the states at once, and this way we can easily manage complex state logic. So that's it for the video. See you in the next one. Take care.